गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We are in Jnaneshwari, commentary on Bhagavad Gita by Jnaneshwar Maharaj, the great young saint, and we are in the 18th chapter, verse number 26, OV number 636. We have to start. And what we have seen in the last few verses is the Sattvic Jnana, the Rajasic Jnana and the Tamasic Jnana, and then we have seen the Sattvic Karma, Rajasic Karma and Tamasic Karma. What are their symptoms? What are their, how do we recognize it? And now we are coming to Sattvic Karta, Rajasic Karta and Tamasic Karta. So last week we started with the Sattvic Karta, and the verse 26 said, Mukta Sango na Hamvadi Dhrutyutsaha Samanvitaha Siddhya Siddhyor Nirvikaraha Karta Satvika Uchyate. An agent free from mukta, free from attachment, sangha is attachment, and egoism, na ahamvadi, aham, the one who does not keep saying I, and egoism, possessing steadiness, dhruti, steadiness, perseverance. Then utsaha, samanvitaha, utsaha is inspiration and zeal and self-motivated, and siddhya siddhyo nirvikaraha, and who is untouched, unmoved, unaffected by success or failure. Siddhya is success, asiddhya is failure. Nirvikaraha means when success and failure comes, there is no agitation, no palpitation of his heart, no emotion in his mind. His mind doesn't have doubt about himself, because whatever, we'll see the explanation afterwards. Karta Satvika Uchyate, such a person is called a Sattvic doer. Sattvic means the pure one. The Sattvic is the one who is committed to the higher. Sattvic means the one who is committed to the truth or God, whichever way you put it. Sattvic is samatvam. Samatvam means equanimity. So all these, wherever there is a absence of agitations, wherever there is absence of agitation without effort, that is Sattvic. If it is with effort, then it will lead to some reactions later on. So Jnaneshwar Maharaj says here, we saw this, we started it last week, but we can begin again. Tari फलोद्देशे सांडिलिया वाढ़ती जेवी सरलिया शाखा का चंदनाचिया बावन्नया कान फलता ही सार्थका जैसिया नागलतिका तैसिया करी नित्यादिका क्रिया जो का परिफल शून्यता नाही तया विफलता पै फळासीची पंडुसुता फळे कायसी आणि आदरे करी बहु असे परिकर्ता मी हे नुमसे वर्षा काळीचे जैसे मेघवृंद तेवीची परमात्मलिंगा समर्पावया जोगा कर्मकलापोपैगा निपजावया. He says, as the branches of the sandal tree lacking desire go straight, or the betel plant, though without fruit, is fruitful because of its leaves, so he performs the obligatory nitya or and occasional naimittika actions. So, who is this sattvika doer? Who is this sattvic karta? He is the one who does the two types of karma. What are they? Nitya karma and naimittika karma he is following. And what are the other karmas? There is kamya karma and there is nishedha karma. He does not do any action prompted by desire, kamya karma, and nishedha karma, he does not perform any action which is not supposed to be done. What is that? Not to be done? When we come to tamasic, we'll see it. Or when we come to rajasic, we'll see it. So let's focus only on the sattvic right now. So what does he do? He does nitya karma and naimittika karma. Nitya karma is what? What are you doing like a rote every day? You get up in the morning, you do brush your teeth, you take a shower, I hope. Otherwise Australians, they take shower at night. They want to sleep fresh. They don't want to wake up fresh. This is just because you are living in Australia doesn't mean that you have to start living also the upside down way. Sleep at night, take shower at night and go dirty to work in the morning. Many people follow this. Even good people who have been in good habit in India, they come and change it here. Why? They are mimicking the Aussies. ठंड है ठंड है, अरे नहाओगे तो फ्रेश हो जाओगे. नहीं पर ठंडा है, गर्म पानी से नहाए. After taking shower with hot water, I feel more cold. Then conclude your shower with cold water, slightly cold water. See how much heat your body will generate. सोच के ठंडा पानी हो. Anyway, let's come to Nitya Karma. Then what do? Then you do your lighting of the lamp, do your chanting, do your japa, do your sadhana, whatever is little bit, or every day reading one shloka or 5 shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, breakfast, lunch, dinner, going to work, etc., etc., etc. Naimittika Karma. Naimittika karma are special occasions when you do the pujas, when you do havans, when you do Hanuman Chalisa. Like here, our mum organizes every every Melbourne Cup Day. We have 108 times Hanuman Chalisa. So special occasion. You don't do it 108 times every day. But one day, people perform Satyanarayan pujas at home. People go to temples. Naimittika karma. You're going to temple. You go on pilgrimages. Every day you are reading 5 verses of Bhagavad Gita. Someday you will sit down and you will chant. It takes 3 hours. On Gita Jayanti day you chant the entire Bhagavad Gita. It takes 3 hours. Or it takes good 9 hours to chant the entire Tulsi Ramayana. Do it. It's a special occasion. So these are all Naimittika karma. Special occasions is Naimittika karma. And in Naimittika karma, wearing the Janeyu, etc., all happens. When you eat the food, you must offer it to the Lord. You must keep some food away for the gods and the animals. All those things are special things, and the Nitya karma. So here, obligatory and occasional actions, but these should not be regarded as futile. अरे यहाँ पे तो कोई जानवर ही नहीं आता, हमारे टेबल पे तो कोई चींटी नहीं आती. No ant comes on my table to eat the food. We have to keep little bit from all the food on the table. But no ant comes. And I got a dining table. On the dining table I got a cloth. If I put food out there, I'll get ear bashing from my wife. What do? Hey, yeah, these are just superstitions. These are not to be followed. No, don't consider them to be superstitions. Don't consider them to be futile. A simple thing: when you enter a house, do not wear the shoes which you are wearing outside and enter them inside the house with them. Leave the outside shoes for outside and wear the inside slippers for inside the house. The hygiene will be maintained. These simple things, these are not superstitions. All these practices in Sanatana Dharma have been done after observation. I know some people who eat food and never wash their hands. Just wipe it on because I ate with the spoon. But hey, you used your hand with for chapati, no? नहीं नहीं उस पर तो कुछ नहीं. इट्स ओनली ऑयल. ऑयल इज गुड फॉर हेल्थ. चलो सर पे लगा दिया एंड वाइप ऑन योर हैंड्स. चलो. Dogs do that. Cats do that. You are human being. You need to wash. You need to gargle. You need to wash your mouth, clean your teeth. Many people, if you have noticed, when I tell you this, it will click. Maybe some are practicing, I don't know. People eat breakfast and then brush their teeth. You are supposed to brush your teeth first and then eat breakfast. But after that again the mouth will get dirty, so I will brush the teeth after breakfast. So what do? Get up from the bed, straight to the kitchen, no shower, no cleaning, nothing, straight fridge may say fresh from the fridge, FFF, into the tummy, and then you will brush your teeth. Why? Because the teeth are going to get dirty anyway. But you don't realize how many germs which have collected overnight which are going to go in. Nitya karma must not, whatever is told by the scriptures or saints and sages, it is not just to trouble us. It is for our benefit. It is for our mental peace. It is for our healthy body, healthy mind, healthy intellect, so that we remain. Our majority of the problem is coming from the body. Corona is coming, body, today only. See? So, are you affected by corona? No, body is affected. So, you are attached to the body. Similarly, if you don't do the correct, what is required to be done, Nitya karma means that which is required to be done, obligatory duties, which must be carried out on a daily basis. But these should not be regarded as futile. These actions never become in vain. O Arjuna, how can a fruit bear another fruit? He performs many such actions sincerely, but as the cloud in the rainy season gives rain without a thunder, he feels no conceit as their agent after reasoning to perform actions to be dedicated to God. Did I tell you about Sandhya Vandan last time? If I did, I can't remember, but I'll repeat it. When a child turns 6-7 years old, he enters into he's given the Gayatri Upasana, and he's told to do he's given the Janeu, the thread. It's a certain ceremony, it's a Naimittika karma. And before he reaches puberty, that young child, boy or girl, there is no discrimination there, they are meant to invoke the fire. It takes about 5-7 minutes, 10 minutes to do the Agnihotra, and they have to chant the Gayatri mantra or just Om. And what is happening for the next 5 6 years that this child is going to chant only 20 21 times every day, morning evening. Slowly his mind learns to perform certain acts, because till 6 years old he was the darling, he was the apple of the eye of everyone who came to the house. He was spoilt, he was loved. But now discipline begins. You cannot discipline a teenager. You have to discipline the guy who is, or the child which is between childhood and teenage. Those 6 7 years that you have, that is the only time you can discipline or inculcate discipline in a child. So as that child chants the mantra, why you are chanting? No, it will benefit you. He doesn't know the meaning. Even if you tell the meaning, he will not remember it. But he keeps doing it. He lights the lamp, he takes shower, he follows his father, he does all those things. Why are we doing it? No, it is the right thing to do. So now the child is learning to perform actions without any expectation in return. And what is our Australian society? My dear child, can you please vacuum the house? I'll give you $5. Beta, can you mow the lawn? I'll give you $10. You are creating a contract. That child is never going to feel that this is my home. He will feel, you are inculcating in that child that from childhood that parents are to be used and abused. That this is the contract. This is how life is. Life is for sacrifice. Life is not a contract between parents and children. It is sacrifice. Mother sacrifices day and night, her time, her energy, her emotions. She invests everything in that child to rear that child up. But somewhere the mother, the father, they lose the plot and they make it into, oh, in India we never did this. Here this is new style, $5, $10 and get the work done. But what are you making? Are you giving the right values to that child? Instead, make that child chant Gayatri Mantra. The child says, Mummy, this is very difficult. Give me $20, then I'll chant 20 times. Lost the plot. The whole idea was to perform actions without expectation of a return, or perform actions because they are right. Because they are right. Because they are supposed to be done. You should not abuse someone. Oh, why, what will happen, this happen? We want to give 100 reasons. No, you work it out. All I am telling you is you are not supposed to abuse anyone. You are supposed to respect your elders. Why should I do it? No, that is the right thing to do. But they don't respect me. Oh, you are a child. But the modern society is individualist society. Attention is only on I. We'll see in the Rajasic. So here this Sattvic person is available to, is the doer of such actions in which there is no selfish motive. Such are Sattvic actions. Then why is he performing them? Because they are supposed to be performed, they are right. They are been ordained by the scriptures, by the saints and sages, that if you do it, they must be done. Then where are we? He performs many such actions sincerely, but as the cloud in the rainy season gives rain without a thunder, he feels no conceit as their agent. So he is performing what is required to be done. He is doing his duty towards his wife, towards his children. If the wife doesn't listen to him, if the children don't listen to him, or the children leave him, they don't take care of him, he has got no ill will towards anyone. Just as the rainy clouds come, they thunder and go away without rain, all the time that he invested in the family, in the upkeep of the house, doing the puja, invoking the Lord, gods, taking care of the parents, but never he got a praise in return, never he got a. He's not expecting. First thing is, he's not expecting. But we find in many houses, I don't know if you have been, but I come across many cases where the person is doing all that is right, but the other person is taking you for a ride, is milking you. One person is there here in Melbourne only. I will not take the name. He called me, Swamiji, please come for dinner. I said okay. Went for dinner, and both of them sat at my feet. I was sitting on the chair, and they all both sat down here. And suddenly Ganga, Jamuna, Saraswati crying, अरे क्या हो गया, खाना तो पचने दो ठीक से. नहीं, you know, my father, he thinks that we are very rich here, and he wants the latest phone, he wants the latest watch, he wants to go everywhere in a air conditioned taxi, and he wants to eat only in 5-star hotels, and he expects me to give money for everything because I am living in Melbourne, and you know, and he keeps demanding, and he keeps blackmailing me. So what should I do? What should I do? I said, tell your younger brother who is in some other country, tell him to send the money. No, he's very strict. He says, I can only give so much money and no more. You do whatever you want with that money. I said, you also do the same. You give that much money, and that is more than enough money. If you give, both of them give $1,000 to their parents, $1,000, 50,000 rupees per month. That's all. You can live a lavish life in Bangalore. But no, every week the father will call, and this fellow, the one in Melbourne, is a bit on emotion side. What should I do? See, what should you do? Should you feel bitter towards your parents? Should you stop giving? Should you scream at your parents? Should you reprimand? That is not right. So what is told here? Even just like the clouds thunder but don't rain, even if your actions are good, without expectations, without any desire for anything in return, yet people, they don't give you any fruit, it's okay. It's okay. Such a person is not disturbed because there is no expectation of return. And therefore, after resolving to perform actions to be dedicated to God, because this sattvic person, he performs all actions only as an offering to the God. Then whenever we do the havan, when we invoke the fire, Indraya Swaha Idan Namama, I am not the offerer of the ahuti to the Indra who has been invoked through the fire, or through the fire I am offering the ahuti to reach the Indra, but I am not giving, I am not the one who is offering. Idan Namama, there is no doership here, it is happening. That Idan Namama is not taking responsibility. But not taking responsibility does not mean not doing your duty. Do your duty. So here he says that, but he performs all activity or all actions as dedicated to the Lord or as an offering to the Lord. And it will also happen. There will also be one more thing. He will see that these actions are also being prompted by the Lord, that are taking place through him. That will be the next stage. Continuing 636th verse. OV. Taya kalate nulanghane desha shuddhi sadhane ka shastrancha vati pahane क्रिया निर्णयो वृत्ती करणे ये कवळा चित्त जावो न देणे फळा नियमांची या सांखळा वाहणे सदा हा निरोधू सहावया लागी धैर्याची या चांग चांगी चिंतवणी जीती आंगी वाहे जो का आणि आत्मयाची ये आवडी कर्मे करितावर पडी देह सुखाची ये परवडी ये वो न लाहे आळसा निद्रा दुर्हावे क्षुधा न भाणवे सुरवाडू न पावे अंगाचा ठावो. He says, and he chooses the proper time and place for their performance, and in doubtful cases he decides the matter by reference to the scriptures or even saints and sages or any wise person in the community. By bringing harmony into the senses and his natural inclinations, he binds his feet with fetters of self-restraint and does not allow his mind to run to the fruit of action. How beautiful! This should be the sattvic. Only then God realization is possible. If we don't follow this, what happens when the doer performs actions like this? In this particular sattvic manner, purification will come about. When you do perform actions, when we will see the symptoms of the actions, actor, the agent in rajasic and tamasic karta, that is not equal to or resultant in purification. See, God realization is possible for the one who has complete vairagya from the world. That vairagya is possible when we have complete faith in the Lord. See? And when these two things come about, an unspoken, joyful, blissful disposition comes about in such a person. For no reason. There is no cause for that happiness. See? We have to get to that point. That is our nature. But somewhere we have lost the plot, we have become the doer. Now if you want to be the doer and you want to recognize who is this doer, what is his nature, is he coming and going, is he the permanent one, is he other than the Lord, or is he a part of the Lord, is he the Ishvara, is he the Parabrahma Paramatma in essence. To get yourself to think those fantastic thoughts with regards to the self, the doorway is only sattva, purity. Sattva means purity. So just like knowledge must be pure, actions we saw in the last 3 verses, they should be pure. Now the doer also must be pure. And these are, I will repeat again and again till this chapter ends. And all this information is not to assess your husband or wife or children or parents. This is to assess yourself. You are listening to satsang for yourself. You don't take this knowledge and then chipkofy to another person. Hey, yesterday I attended satsang. What you are performing is a tamasic action. एक थप्पड़ देगा वो कहेगा मेरे को नहीं पता, तू निकल यहाँ से. Get out from here. This information is only for our self-assessment, that as a doer, am I getting lost in rajas tamas, or am I alert and vigilant and continuously assessing myself that I remain in the sattvic mode? Because sattvic mode is the doorway to purity. Sattvic mode brings about purity. And He chooses the proper time and place for their performance in. Uh, so, uh, so he, time and place, I already gave you one or two examples. Brushing your teeth after the food, not before. Huh? Taking shower before sleep and not in the morning. If you were attending the class right now, I would have asked everyone, please put your hands up. पता चल जाता कौन कितना पानी में है और कौन कितना दूध का दूध पानी का पानी. If you don't understand Hindi, I can't help it. I said milk is milk, water is water. It doesn't make any sense in English. Then he chooses the time and place for their performance, and in doubtful cases, he decides the matter by reference to the scriptures. The Naimittika karma. I will, I will chant Hanuman Chalisa whenever I want. I will. They say that Hanumanji's day is Tuesday and Saturday. Hey, who cares what people say? I'm going to pray to Hanuman on Wednesday. For me, Wednesday is the Hanuman day. ऐसे राक्षस को कौन क्या बोलेगा? Yes, true. Hanumanji is present every day. But to say that what scriptures are saying or what Tulsidas ji is saying or what others Mahatmas are saying is wrong, we should not go in that direction. नहीं, Ekadashi is not the 11th day. Ekadashi होती है ना? या कृष्ण जन्माष्टमी is on the अष्टमी. अष्टमी, अरे कृष्ण भगवान तो सर्वव्यापी हैं. He is all pervasive. I will celebrate his birthday when I want. It's not like that. Don't do that. Do it when you are alone. Yes, you are right that Krishna Bhagwan is all pervading. So, then there is no need to celebrate Janmashtami also, because you are celebrating Janmashtami every moment. It's okay. Then why you have to have a special occasion? But if you are going to make it a special occasion, Nimittika karma, Naimittika karma, then do it on the Ashtami day. It's coming, no? Someone told me yesterday, 30th of August is Janmashtami. By bringing harmony into the senses and his natural inclinations. We all have desires. We enjoy eating, we enjoy copulation, we enjoy different desires for different things at different times. There should be some there is a paddhati, there is a methodology, or it is written down in Manusmriti that how you should satisfy your desires. So your natural inclination is towards something, and here it says that by bringing harmony into the senses and his natural inclinations. So try to integrate the two. There are certain needs at the body level. There are certain unknown to you. Sometimes the desire just comes out. The mind gets fixated on something. Anger comes out. And you have observed that sometimes our mind behaves in a different ways. Then what do we do with it? Instead of succumbing to them again and again and again and again, एक एक महात्मा जी ने डॉक्टर बताया है, सेंसिस की बात चल रही है ना, दूर से देखा एक लड़की खड़ी, लड़की खड़ी थी, क्योंकि लड़की की चोटी थी, उल्टा पीछे से देखोगे तो चोटी लटकी होती है, जो प्लीट्स बन के जो लटकी होती है, पास जाके देखा तो भैंस की पूंछ लटकी हुई थी। आंखों का दोष है, आंखों का दोष है। सो control your senses, control your mind. Left unchecked, the senses will, the eyes will want to see something beautiful, ears will want to keep hearing beautiful, tongue will keep wanting to taste beautiful. Now some people are able to digest every damn thing that goes into the mouth or into the stomach. Some people, today only one boy came, he's going to Ireland to study. Tomorrow is his flight. He says, Swamiji, I'm coming for Ashirwad. I said, come outside. And I gave him one laddu mum had made. So he said, Swamiji, does this have walnut? I said, Mummy, you tell him if it has walnut. She said, yes. Immediately he threw the laddu into his mother's hand. Because just by touching walnut, if he touches that hand somewhere else, his whole body will swell up. Now what can you do? No, but I love walnut. Why can't I have walnut? I want walnut. If you keep going like this, why can't I wear pants? My husband is wearing pants. I also want to wear pants. This is the woman liberation, no, nowadays. Huh? They want to compete with the man. And men are also not less. They also walk like girls nowadays. They also competing. More and more are increasing in number now. कलयुग है, सब कुछ होएगा. What do you call them? Mardi Gras parties. No. Here we, so where if senses are left unchecked, if you expose them to the TV, if you expose them to the news, if you expose them to negativity, they will get affected. Mind will get affected. On my app, I'm on my school group from in Delhi, and someone posted, someone was in somewhere in Afghanistan, someone stopped one couple going, these fellows who have taken over now, and she's begging, please leave him. They shot him and they shot her there only in front of everyone, and there are already about 10 bodies lying there. If you expose yourself to this no, I want to know what is going on. What are you going to do with that information? Don't you know that forever and ever, if you go into past, these things have always happened? Protect your mind, protect your senses, expose them with intelligently, expose them to that information which is conducive, which doesn't create agitation, which doesn't create distraction, which doesn't create fear, panic. And after looking at that video, suddenly all the girls on the school app, they all, oh, please do not post something like this, it really disturbs, and I could not sleep last night, and this and that. It is emotionally very traumatic. And therefore here it is told that by bringing harmony into the senses, our harmony comes about by way of integration. And how do you integrate as a doer? Whatever you think should be equal to whatever you speak, and whatever you speak is what you act out in life. There should be no what you call division, that you are thinking something, You are speaking something and you are acting something. That is called hypocrisy. That is destruction of personality. Like every air hostess, she has to smile at you when you enter the airplane. She has to smile when she, sir, can I give you a glass of juice, please? And inside she's saying, oh yeah, I hope he's got a dadi. I hope he's not one of the Taliban. Al Qaeda. Inside is something else is going on. Outside, sir, this, sir, that, madam. Hypocrisy. Are we like that? We should be straightforward. What you see is what you get. There's no discrepancy between our thoughts, our speech, and our action. This is called integration. Ego, a maximum you can do, the agent, you are the ego, the agent. Here we are talking about the sattvic agent, the sattvic ego, the doer, the karta. So what either he can be tamasic, or he can be rajasic, or he can be sattvic. Who is sattvic? The one who is working towards the integration, working towards the synchronization. For that he doesn't have to keep remembering, hey, what I am saying, is that what I am speaking, is that what I am acting? ऐसे सोचोगे तो पागल हो जाओगे. So what was told before? It was told what? That free from attachment, he performs all activities free from attachment, mukta sangaha. And how does he do that? He does it because it is the right thing to do. And we saw in the last the 3 verses before, the sattvic karma is that karma, that action in which is performed as an offering to the Lord without any expectation in return. Such is sattvic action. Now, who can perform that sattvic action? It can only be the sattvic doer. It cannot be the rajasic or tamasic doer. So connect the sattvic knowledge, the sattvic action, now the sattvic doer. Now connect all these three and put it on paper and put it in points on your most relaxed way on the toilet seat. So put it in front of you. बाकी दिन तो टेंशन ही टेंशन है. That is the only place where we are at peace. No thoughts in the mind. सात्विक, अच्छा ये करना है. So bringing harmony into the senses and his natural inclinations, when he has become, when his thought, word and deed, when his mind and intellect, mind and the senses, see, senses are dependent on the mind. Mind is dependent on the intellect. Intellect is dependent on the conscious principle. But it is the intellect which knows what is right and what is wrong. It has the discrimination. So once intellect is convinced that I have to work towards integrity, towards synchronization, towards the oneness in thought, word and deed, once intellect is convinced that this is the goal and it is always alert and vigilant about it, automatically the mind and senses will follow it. Initially they will fight because of old habit, but as you keep putting your foot down that no, this is the decision I have made, the intellect says this is the decision I have made, we must follow it, it has to follow. The mind has to follow the sense, and once the mind follows, then senses will also follow. Our problem is we are not convinced, so please be convinced. You decide, because choice is with each one of us, to choose or not to choose, to do the right or to be at the mercy of the wrong. and he binds his feet with fetters of self restraint and does not allow his mind to turn to the fruit of action. And if sometimes out of old habit you have controlled, you have given up all the vices. See, once upon a time I used to smoke. I gave up. One particular incident happened, and 10 years I smoked and I gave up. Then for few months, but it was a drudha nishchay, it was a deep conviction, because I hurt someone in this particular instance by my imagination that they had hidden my cigarette packet. And I said, and she was pregnant, and she was living, my friend and his wife were living, and she was pregnant, and she was cooking food, and I am blah 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 blah. Why did you hide it? You have purposely done it. You are smiling. That means you have done it. And I stormed out of my apartment and went and bought 3-4 packets and came back. And when I came back, I had looked everywhere in the apartment and I found it where I had kept it. And I felt so bad. I immediately took those 4 packets. I said, I don't want to be a person because of whom a pregnant girl is has to face all this childish behavior of mine. What right do I have to say all this to her? And that too, I should keep her happy. She's my friend's wife. I should keep her happy. I should be joking. And here I am fighting with her, arguing with her, blaming her. And I took every cigarette and threw it many times before I had done it. But this time I did it and it went away. But next 2-3 months, anyone smoking and the smoke used to come to my nose, the urge used to come. That, yeah, I have already controlled it for 1 month. I think I have mastered it. 1 cigarette will be okay. You take 1 cigarette, it will become 2. You take 2, it will become 5. You take 5, it will become 10. This is called addiction. This is what drug addiction is, alcohol addiction is. You may say it's only one, every evening I just have 1 beer or 1 scotch. 1 liquid spirituality, 1 glass of liquid spirituality. It becomes a habit. But I did not give in. I controlled. So I'm giving you this example because he binds his feet with fetters of self-restraint. I found arguments within myself why I should not have that 1 cigarette. Suddenly the data from past that I many times at the past also I have given up. Then I started with 1, it became 2, it became 5. No, this time I'm not going to. 3 months I'm not going to. Then after 3 months, 1 more month, then 1 more month. And now it does not matter. You can be smoking around me everywhere, it does not matter. See? But here it happened because of some incidents. See? But when we perform sattvic actions, all the vices, negativity, ignorance, doubts, bad habits slowly start just evaporating from your system, from your mind. And if sometimes, because under right conditions, pub is the right condition, now I have controlled myself. Go into a pub, चल यार एक ड्रिंक चलेगी, एक सिगरेट भी चलेगी. No, because nobody is there to watch me. No, you keep yourself restrained. If the horses are not restrained by an adept charioteer, the horses will topple the chariot itself, because each horse will run in different direction. Same way, those 5 horses are our 5 senses. the reins with which they are tethered is the mind. And all the reins of the horses, they are in the hands of the intellect. And that is your conviction. So where is our intellect? Is it sattvic? Is it dedicated to the Lord? Is it contemplating on the Lord? Is it convinced of the Lord? Is it performing everything for the Lord? Is it thinking, speaking, doing everything for the Lord? When this is happening without your knowing, everything will be under control. Self-restraint will automatically happen, and if sometimes by mistake you find that the senses slipping away because you are dedicated to the higher, automatically the strength to pull the senses back, pull the horses back and keep them in line. And that is what is told here. See? And does not allow his mind to turn to the fruit of action. So senses go to perceive objects depending upon each sense. And what does mind do? Mind wants to enjoy the fruit. It wants to enjoy the fruit. So here we are keeping it under control, that the mind should not desire a return of action, does not desire a return fruit for the action performed. Then the life will become meaningless. No, life is not meaningless. All actions are performed for the divine. If life is meaningless, then you are not a spiritual seeker. Then we are not a spiritual seeker. If life has no meaning, life is full of meaning. Life is you. You have superimposed it on the objects, that if I don't have that car, then what's the point of living and making money? If I can't invest in another house, then what's the point of making money? Then if I can't wear good clothes, then what is the point of making money? Then what do you have? You got 10 pairs to choose from every Monday, 10 and another 10 pairs of shoes to choose from every Tuesday, and so on. Like Imelda Marcos, 5,000 shoes she had. Then every day your problem is which clothes to wear. This shirt goes with this pant, with this belt, with this socks, with this shoe. This necklace goes with this dress, or this pajama, or this kurta, this. What type of hairstyle should I have? This lipstick or no? We have no problem. Pick up any kurta and any lungi, put together and walk. No choice. Lesser the choice, more integrity. More the choice, more the breakup of personality. Confusion comes where there is more choices. So how do we stop ourselves from being exposed to choices? Follow the scriptures. Do everything. And if you can't understand the scriptures, if you are, suppose those people who are not exposed to satsangs, or even after exposing to satsang, but I don't know, scriptures are so much, I don't know everything. Don't worry. Whatever you do, offer it to the Lord. Automatically all answers are within you. They are not outside. They are not in the books. Books are only for the stupid people who think they can understand the books. True understanding is the knowledge is your nature. Atma is Sat Chit Ananda Swarup. Sat means Atma is ever existing. Conscious means Atma is all knowing. And Anand, Atma is always blissful. So how come you are searching for answers in the book? This conviction must be there. This Sattvic Karta has this conviction. And therefore he performs all the actions for as a dedication, as an offering to the Lord without expecting any return. When you are not expecting any return, majority of the people, let me see if that person is here on this. No. Majority of the people thinking about the result, they become anxious, they panic. Now one person is going for what do you call, for AstraZeneca jab tomorrow. So they called me. They said, Swamiji, I'm going tomorrow and I have done so much research and I have seen that Astra is not the best, but Pfizer, I am not getting the Pfizer and I got so many different problems in my body. Will this help? Will that help? I said, listen, you're thinking too much. She says, I am feeling very nervous. My energy is very nervous. Everything is changing, shifting. There is a nervous energy moving around. I said, yeah, that is called nervousness. That is called anxiety. That is called panic. And she started laughing. She says, that's what I am going to tell you. You are already telling. I said, I also felt the same when I went for my jab. I said, nobody knows, are they experimenting on us or is it for real? But in the end, I said, if everyone is going to die, I am also going to die. Chalo, bolo Siyavar Ramachandra ki jai. Injection le do. You also do the same. Because whatever has to happen to the body is going to happen. Yeah. So when we give ourselves the choice, now she has studied, Googled all those different things about the various jabs, Pfizer, Astra, Novavax, this, that, everything. And she has worked herself up. Then after talking, then she said, okay, so what should I do? I said, Om Namah Shivaya. And it's over. But what will happen after that? I said, whatever will happen, you will find out when it happens. Why you are thinking about it now? Nothing is going to happen. Why should anything happen? If you keep thinking that something is going to happen, even if nothing has happened, you will imagine that something is happening. Isn't it? Isn't it our case? We are so unique here. We create our own problems. We imagine our own problems and take them to be real. Take those imaginations to be real and then become anxious. And therefore, do not expect fruit of actions. Because fruit of actions, when you are performing, if I am performing here right now, my performance is going on of satsang, speech is going on. If I keep thinking, have you understood, have you understood, have you understood, all of you have understood, and I keep asking and I keep having self-doubt, am I catering to their needs? Am I being understood? Are they receiving what I am saying? Because nobody till today has ever said, Swamiji, it benefited me or this or that. There is no expectation. When there is no expectation, I don't care what you do. चला जाता हूँ अपनी ही धुन में. हिंदी गाना है ना एक. देखो. But where there is expectation, there your ability to perform 100% here and now becomes diminished, because more than 50% energy goes into expectation of the result. So your action which is taking place at this moment, it cannot be the best test, because 100% of you is not available there. Half of your mind has gone to the result, thinking of the result. And therefore, this sattvic person, he offers every action he does, perform an action with the senses and mind controlled, convinced of the divine, of the higher, and offering all the results to the higher. Such a person doesn't wait to see what was the result. What's next? What's the next activity I have to do? It's not after the lecture I say, hey, did you enjoy it? Did you find it interesting? Did you. No. Okay, what's next? Another satsang with myself. Sit in meditation, do my japa. My day is full. I got no free time. No time to loiter. I go for walks. I'm not a workaholic. Sattvic person is not a workaholic. But one, to keep the mind, stop the mind and senses to indulge in wrong things, we must keep ourselves busy. Busy not by choice, by desire, but life is continuously throwing at you something to be done. Do it joyfully as an offering to the Lord. As long as he lives, he takes care to keep up fortitude of the best kind in order to achieve self-restraint. Dhruti, here the verse was saying what? Mukta sango anahamvadi dhruti utsaha samanvitaha. Dhruti means steadiness, dhruti means perseverance, dhruti means stability, unshaking. Dhruti is your mind is not wavering, you are steady. What is steady? When you are steady in your devotion to the Lord, when your intellect is steady with reference to the conviction that my goal of life, my purpose of life is to merge into the divine, then automatically the agitations in the mind will become calm. Because the mind was agitated, when intellect had doubt, when intellect was desiring, mind was agitating, distracted. When mind is agitating and distracted, then the senses are also distracted. But when the mind is convinced and it is thinking of the higher, the mind is also, the reins are tight. They are tied down to the higher conviction. Then the senses also are, the horses are also in control. They don't leak around, they don't jump around anywhere. See? And then he takes care to keep up fortitude of the best kind in order to achieve self-restraint. Another way you can say is fortitude is the ability to withstand whatever life is throwing at you without reaction. That is fortitude. When things go your way, yahoo! When things don't go your way, oh, nobody loves me. Not like that. Maintain the equipoise. If it is 3 degrees, maintain equipoise. If it is 50 degrees, maintain equipoise. Stop reacting. That will bring the fortitude. Fortitude is only at the intellect level. Dhri is the intellect. But for that, conviction is required. And this power to withstand, the power of fortitude with regards to the senses and the mind, comes by the intellect contemplating on the higher. Contemplating on the higher. Not by contemplating on the lower. What is lower? Names and forms is the lower. The sansar is the lower. Relations and possessions is the lower. That which is changing is the lower. He does not care for his physical comforts while working out of love for the attainment of self-realization. So here, this person, the Sattvic Karta, his attention is on self-realization or God. I told you before. And he never allows his intellect to sway away from that higher goal to the goal of the world of names and forms. So what is his driving force? What is his source of inspiration? What is that power which is giving him strength, that fortitude, the ability to restrain his senses and mind? It is this vision, it is this conviction that I am essentially of the nature of Atma or Paramatma, and yet I am living as an individual. Yet I am living as a slave to the world. Yet I am a samsari. Yet I am living as a slave to my senses, to my desires. Thu. I need to wake up. I need to continue working towards the higher. Just like when you are very, very hungry, nothing can stop you. You hone towards the food. Just as the eagle in the sky, when it sees a rabbit or a rat or a snake, it, like an arrow from that 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers high in the sky, imagine how sharp its eyesight must be. And it puts its wings together and like an arrow it comes down to its prey. That focus we need to have. That will only come when you have assessed your life. That is this life going in the right direction? And this is not once in a blue moon. Every day before going to sleep, we must assess. We must complete our day. Introspect, detect, negate, and grow. This is our Swami Chinmayananda's mantra. Every day introspect. Don't go through everything. Just go backwards. From this moment, just scan your day. Detect wherever we have been less than what we want to be. Negate. Make a what do you call? Affirmation. First negate whatever that negativity was. If you found yourself that I became angry unnecessarily, I will not be angry from now on. Then positive affirmation that I am a happy person. I am that in whom and kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya are absent. I am of the nature of divine. Positive affirmation. First negate it, then affirm, and then go to sleep. You are resolved. Nothing is left unfinished. Sleep does not come at night because we have unfinished business during the day. A lot of thoughts are there which have not resulted in the conclusion. Just because we have mind doesn't mean that we have to think of every damn thing. God has given us mind and intellect for one purpose. Bhagwan has given us this body for only one purpose. Only in human birth it is possible to recognize that you are of the nature of divine. If any God wants to know he is divine and self-realize, he has to take a human birth first. So do this for yourself. Bless yourself in this way by thinking of the divine, by seeking self-realization or God realization. Here we are in Moksha Sannyas Yoga. This chapter is called Moksha Sannyas Yoga. So we are, I'm just saying, self realization or God realization is okay. He does not care for his physical comforts while working. I'm only washing dishes, nobody else is doing anything. When I'm not a doormat. I have to work also, I have to cook also, I have to wash also, I have to make the beds also, I have to wash the clothes also. And I make more salary than my husband. What is he doing? He's on dole. He should be doing all this. Where you start calculating, life is gone. Life is, how does a mother express love towards her children? By way of sacrifice, not by kissing and smooching and hugging. Our mother did, but not like in the Western culture, all the time kissing and smooching. I love you, darling. I love you, darling. And what happens after 20 years? Why does the child hasn't got the same connection? Because the parents were selfish. They couldn't stay together. The mother could not sacrifice herself for the child. The father could not sacrifice for the child. The mother and father could not sacrifice their differences for the greater good. Naturally, we are having nuclear families now. Why nuclear? There is no nuclear also. There is only one person per family. That is where it is going now. And therefore, we must, whatever is there in front of us to be done. Here one more point comes to my mind. Today's society, every child that I come across, every adult that I come across, they only do what they like. They don't do what they dislike. Our scriptures say, our saints say, and if we are on the path of self-realization, and if we want to be a sattvic doer, then we must not do action based on likes and dislikes. We must do actions based on right and wrong. I don't like this job, I am resigning. The mother is, an elderly person is sitting there and they are coughing. And there are other people also in the room and you are waiting. Who is going to bring the water to that person? But you are not getting up. Why? You are also another elder. You may be 30, 40 years old, maybe 20 years old. But you are waiting. Who else is going to? Oh, you are feeling. Why are you coughing? Dadima? And you look here, there. You look there. कोई पानी लाके दे रहा है क्या? Is someone going to bring water to Dadima? Why are you not getting up? Because that will be the right thing to do. If the thought has come to you, you must get up straight away. So all actions, the doer must perform all actions based on what is right and what is wrong. How will you know what is right? Scriptures or saints and sages. Right is not what you like, is not right, equal to right. And for what is right, work tirelessly towards that. If I've found in my life that I am giving satsangs and this is the right thing to do, then every day there is satsang. As I said, I am keeping myself very busy throughout the day. So many classes are going on. It's not for someone else, it is my need. I have to tire myself. This body is there to be fully squeezed by the activity. Not out of workaholism, but out of the love for the subject. And what am I getting in return? Nothing. I don't want anything. Neither appreciation, nor validity, nor accolades, nor understanding, nor motivation. No, self-inspired. Remember what was the word? Mukta Sango Anambadi Dhruti Utsaha. Motivation is when someone inspires you by someone's praise, by someone's words, when someone comes and gives you a hug or touches you, well done, and the employee says, yeah man, I am a good employee. That is motivation. Inspiration is when you are motivated by yourself from within, not because of any external source. Understand the difference between inspiration and motivation. They sound similar. External inspiration is motivation. Internal motivation is inspiration. So while doing such work, out of love for the attainment of self-realization, it is not for anything. As we keep again and again repeating, we are telling this, we are giving this satsang, tirelessly I keep talking about the same points. Probably this mind has not understood it 100%. It still slips away here and there. It's still not single pointed. Never come to this conviction that my mind is controlled now. Mind can, you have to be vigilant all the time. One moment and it slips. So the greater the goal, the greater the inspiration. Lower the goal, medium the goal, medium inspiration. Lower the goal, no inspiration. So is this not a desire? Self-realization, is it not a desire? Yes, it is a desire. But you said we should not perform any actions with the desire. Yes, we did say. Now use your intelligence why we said that. We said you desire self-realization so that you can counteract all the desires for the world. You desire sleep every night to checkmate all the thoughts of the day. So how long do you keep desiring sleep? How long the thought of sleep will keep coming to your mind? I am sleepy, I am sleepy, I want to sleep, I want to sleep, I want to sleep. As long as there are thoughts of the day still prevalent in your mind and disturbing. When all of them are checkmated, the last one goes away. With that last one, the thought of the sleep also goes away and you get absorbed in the sleep. Exactly the same way. How long will you keep thinking, I am the Atma, I am the Self, I am the infinite? As long as other finite thoughts are still erupting within the mind. When they are checkmated, then even the thought that I am Atma, that I am the Self, I am the Spirit, this thought also will go away. Then what will remain? You as you are. How am I? You get there and find out and tell me. Get there. Today's children, or adults, they want answers first, and then they will decide whether they should follow it or not. Why should I give you the answer? You find out and you tell me. Then I'll sit and listen to your lecture. Give me that opportunity. I'm looking forward. While doing such work, he forgoes sleep, does not feel the pangs of hunger, and is not touched by sensuous pleasures. A very simple example with regards to this, a child who is giving year 12 exam. Now I know 2 3 kids who are giving their year 12 now. In October November they have their exams, and you can see just in between this break I went to 1 or 2 houses. There these kids were there. They have stopped watching TV, they have stopped watching movies, they have stopped watching serials, they stopped going out with friends. Why? What is the goal in front of them? I have to pass year 12, I must get good marks, and for that it is only once I have to pass year 12, so I might as well. It's only a question of 4 5 months. I will stop indulging in all unwanted activities. I'll focus myself. I'll make myself, even sometimes mind doesn't want it, but I'll focus and I'll study. I'll keep doing the same exercises, physics, chemistry, maths, English, again and again and again, so that when these questions come in the exam, I am like duck to water. And see, otherwise, you go last year or the year before, every night they want to watch a movie in their theater and they want to cook this. I don't like this, I don't like that. Now, mummy keeps screaming from downstairs, child, come, it's dinner time. Child is not listening because that person is so lost in doing their exercises and getting ready for the year 12 exam. Just like you forgot day, night, hunger, thirst, with the that time, with the higher goal of getting married. How will it be? What will be life like? Huh? Just thinking about being someone's, being in your hubby's arms, committing to live that life. And if it is, and when two people are in love, again same thing. Parents say, hey, are you listening? That person has not listened. Why? Continuously daydreaming about the beloved. So let us not be in that state with reference to the world or opposite sex or or food. Today there was a story in Radha Krishna and Maharishi Ved Vyas, who wrote Mahabharata. Gita is part of that Mahabharata, and he comes to Dwarka, and Ganesha, he is also there as a kid, and the Ved Vyasji wants someone who can be his scribe, who can write for him, as he is thinking of the complete story of Mahabharata. He wants someone to write those shlokas with understanding, and as quickly as he is uttering it, someone has to, with understanding, then write it. And Krishna Bhagavan says, yes, and first eat food and everything. They sat down and eat, and Maharishi Vedvyas is about to start eating. He says, Ganesha, why you are standing around? You also come and sit and eat. He also eat, and he loves his modak, and he loves Radha's kheer, and he loves all the food, and he sits there, and Krishna Bhagavan brings one group of boys and asks them to play drums. And Maharishi Vedyas becomes disturbed. What is this? bad behavior when guest is eating in the house and you are outside the room, his room, you are playing such big drums, you don't even allow your guest to eat peacefully, and he gets up from the plate. Krishna comes in. He says, Maharshi, please calm down, calm down. I will ask them to stop. They stopped. He says, do you see that Ganesha is not disturbed? This young kid is not disturbed. How come you are disturbed? You are elderly. You are a rishi. He is only a kid. He says, yeah. And then by the time Ganeshji finishes his food and he gets up, washes his hands, and Maharishi said, Ganesh, you did not get disturbed. You did not hear the drums. It was so disturbed. I had to get up from this plate and I got angry. He says, which drums? Which drums? He was so focused on the food that he didn't even hear the disturbing sound of the drums. Are we like that? So focused on self-realization that we are not available to the distractions of the world. Distractions are the thoughts. Thoughts are of seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting. We are not available to it because intellect is continuously contemplating on the higher. That disposition has to come about. While doing such work, this sattvic agent, he forgoes sleep. No, this day is not going to come tomorrow. Every day is only 24 hours. And if I don't do what is required to be done towards self-realization, another 24 hours is gone. Now, after this satsang, what am I going to do? I got already another activity lined up. Either I will listen to one satsang or I'll do some meditation on what I have studied now. Because this time, if I waste, it's not going to come back again. And tomorrow morning again I'll say, Arey yaar, last night I unnecessarily watched a movie. I could have done the sadhana. I was so in tune with the topic that was going on. I should have spent some more time to let it consolidate inside me, gel inside me. But I just at that time I felt it was I need a distraction, so I started watching a movie and then I got tired and I went to sleep. 8-9 hours gone just like that, which you cannot recoup again. They're gone. So when we are fired up, when we are inspired to achieve something, then you make day and night one to achieve it. When two people are in love and want to be together, they forget sleep, they forget food, they are only talking, nowadays messaging or FaceTiming. In the olden days, only thinking, imagining, finding all ways, meet behind the tree, meet behind the shop, eat golgappa and then meet there. Does not feel the pangs of hunger and is not touched by sensuous pleasures. When we are thinking of the higher, we have dropped the lower. What is the lower? Body. What is higher? The self, the Atma, the spirit, the Lord. Just as when we are on the ground, and we have to negotiate through the streets of Springvale Road. So much traffic, honking, blah blah, so many things. But as we raise ourselves higher, in a helicopter for example, as we go higher and higher, the chaos on the ground, the seeming chaos on the ground, it all starts merging into one homogeneous mass. So that traffic, those many people, which was bringing anxiety to you. But as you keep going higher, all of you can't see people, you can't see cars, you can't see traffic, you don't have to negotiate, you don't have to protect yourself, you are not afraid, you are not anxious. Why? Because you have taken a higher position. Take that higher position within yourself. How do you do that? By thinking of the higher. Then the lower, which is the body and whatever is associated with the body, that is called samsara, will not, for which we are lusting, it will not be able to make an impact on such a sattvic person. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Just sit quietly for a moment.